We have our Pro Bowlers. We have our Pro Bowlers, ladies and gentlemen. The Miami Dolphins have 7 Pro Bowl starters along with 11 alternates. That means possibly 18 players for the Miami Dolphins are going to make the Pro Bowl this year. Wow. Wow. Congratulations, fellas. Congratulations. As if I give a rat's ass about the Pro Bowl right now. This fan base is absolutely embarrassing themselves this week. And I'm not a part of it. That's the best part about it. I'm not a part of it. They're absolutely embarrassing themselves this week for celebrating players for making the Pro Bowl when this team is on a downhill slope right now. They're on a downhill slide to end the regular season. Once again, for the second year in a row, under head coach Mike McDaniel, the team is heading for another collapse to end the season. And we're out here celebrating players making the Pro Bowl. And then what's worse, and I'm not kidding you when I say this, I've been a part of Dolphins Twitter for 3 years now. Back in 2020, I joined Dolphins Twitter, and that's when I started to make content on here about the Miami Dolphins back in 2020. And in all the years I've been on Twitter, I've never seen nothing more embarrassing than I have this as a fan base. And I'm going to pull it up real quick because I have to read it. I have to. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to say the person who tweeted it, but this is embarrassing. Apparently, there's reports going around that Bills Mafia is traveling to South Florida this weekend, and Bills Mafia is going to take over Hard Rock Stadium, and there's going to be 70% Bill fans, and there's going to be 30% Miami Dolphin fans, all that stuff. And this is, I'm not saying names because I'm not trying to say stuff to start things. And I doubt this person is even watching, so I'm just going to say it anyway. She said, local Fin fans, please go support our guy Sunday. Don't let the Mafia take over our stadium. What? That is embarrassing. Like, as a fan, I'm embarrassed that we have fans asking other fans to go and support the team in a home game. Hey, our fan base sucks, but the opposing team, their fans are going to overtake our stadium. Please go support the Dolphins while they lose to the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Please go watch the Dolphins lose to the Bills this weekend. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing to me as a fan and to our fan base. That makes our fan base look terrible. That we have fans asking local Miami Dolphin fans to please go and support the team. That's a bad look on our fan base. Would you think that shit would happen in Philly? Seriously. Philly is the most passionate fan base in the entire world. Why? Because I have so many friends that are Philly fans. I'm a Philly fan myself besides the Eagles. That shit would never happen in Philly. That's an absolute embarrassment to our fan base. And that you would never see that in big markets. You would never see that in Philly. You would never see that in New York. You would never see that in Chicago. You would never see that in Baltimore. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. I don't have much to read from the injury report besides the fact that Raheem Mostert and Jalen Waddle is questionable, along with Jerome Baker, There's no status on Robert Hunt this week, which means he is a go. He's back on Sunday night. The Bills are fully healthy. They have a fully healthy team outside of Matt Milano, who's been out since week 5. And the Bills are going to be a healthy team going into the final game of the season, while the Miami Dolphins are going to be going into this game in their home stadium on crutches. Folks, you know, with the stuff that I said on Twitter this week, people are losing their minds. They're like, oh, you hate the Dolphins. Why are you a Dolphins fan if you're just going to be critical on them all the time? Because it's the God's honest truth. It's the truth about what's going on with this team right now. And you refuse to put down the pom-poms and cheer on the team. Yes, I'm going to be cheering for the Dolphins as hard as I possibly can to win the division on Sunday night. And to the people that say, I hate the Dolphins. Really now. So if I hated the Dolphins, why am I wearing Miami Dolphins merch right now? Why do I have a Miami Dolphins flag hanged up right behind me? Why did I buy tickets to go see them twice in the past month? Why did I spend money for flights and hotels to go see the Miami Dolphins? But yeah, I hate the Dolphins. Whatever. These people are absolutely brainwashed. These people are absolutely clueless, and they're going to be heartbroken on Sunday night. Well, I'm going to be sitting here, and yeah, they're going to lose probably, but I'm going to sit here on the post-game recap video on Sunday night, and I'm not going to be mad. Why? Because I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to tell you, I told you so. This team is not built for big games. The coach does not coach good in big games. As much as I love the quarterback, I love Tua. I hope he gets the extension this offseason. But, bro, he does not win big games. The only big game he's won this year is Dallas. And that's not good enough to where we want to go. And for this to be a successful season, they have to win a playoff game. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I give them about, it's hard. You got to give them at least 10% because any given Sunday, any team could win. I give them a 15% chance to win this game on Sunday. I'm giving them 15% to go ahead and win this game. There's just way too much to overcome with the injuries and how hot the Bills are. They're the hottest team in the NFL right now. And I'll tell you what, I was planning on not saying this, but I guess I will anyway. If either the Jaguars or Steelers lose and the Bills clinch a playoff spot, that would give me another reason not to be upset over this loss, because I would rather play the Kansas City Chiefs than I would the Buffalo Bills. Is it going to be cold in Kansas City next week? Yeah, it'll be cold. But I would rather play a team whose offense has been struggling since the Germany game, basically. And I would rather play them than the Bills again. But we're here today to talk about the game on Sunday, the Bills and the Dolphins. Again, I give this team a 15% chance. That's just my opinion. You don't have to like it. I don't care if you don't like it. That's just my thought. You could sit here and say, oh, well, I think they're totally going to win and the team is going to show up and McDaniel's going to coach a great game and Josh Allen is going to have 3 turnovers. That's just not realistic. You are putting your fandom over your brain. And what we do over here, what I do over here, is I think with my brain. See, there used to be a time where I'd think with this. And now, over these last 2 years, with the 2 collapses that have happened this year, I think with this. This team had a 3-game lead over the Buffalo Bills going into Week 14. 5 games left on the season, and we had a 3-game lead. And somehow, we're playing for the division title. If you don't lose to the Titans, a game where you were favored by 2 touchdowns, and we're winning by 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes to go. If you don't lose that game, or if on one of those drives where you got field goals in the 5-yard line and you get touchdowns, our guys are sitting this week, resting up for a home playoff game, wild card weekend. Our guys are getting rest. But nope. And the reason we're here, I'm going to tell you why. The reason we're here is our head coach. With his failure in the play calling against the Titans. Tyreek goes out, Connor Williams goes out, he's flustered. Our offense was flustered for 3 quarters. 3 quarters. Our offense didn't score a touchdown in 3 quarters. And when they did, the Titans gifted us turnovers. Kansas City. Screen pass at the end of halftime, which the Chiefs blew up. They knew it was coming. And what happens? Tyreek fumbles, Chiefs touchdown. Basically put the game away. But if the Dolphins came back, they got it down to a touchdown, and I'll tell you what, Raheem Mostert, 2 runs, got it inside the Chiefs' 40 after the 2-minute warning. What does our brilliant coach, McGenius, come up with? 4 passing plays in a row. The Chiefs dropped everybody back in coverage. So, the reason we're here is the coaching. And don't think I forgot about Fangio, too. We're going to talk about him. So, let's talk about the Bills' offense against the Dolphins' defense. Then we'll talk about the Bills' defense against the Dolphins' offense. Then I'll give a little rah-rah speech at the end, if that's even going to work. And then we'll get out of here. So, some stats. The Bills are ranked 5th overall in offense, 368.5 yards. The Dolphins are ranked 9th. They dropped all the way to 9th when they were 5th last week. They're 9th with 308.5 yards per game allowed. The Bills' passing offense is ranked 15th with 246.5 passing yards per game. The Dolphins' passing defense is ranked 14th with 235.5 yards allowed per game through the air. Lamar Jackson absolutely cooked up the secondary last week, and he had so much protection that he could have a drink while he was in the pocket, he could read a book while he was in the pocket, and he would look up and be like, oh shit, Say Flowers is wide open 10 yards apart of Eli Apple. Boom. Looks up after having a drink. Oh shit, Isaiah Likely is wide open. Touchdown. Oh, look at this. Nelson Aguilar has beaten Kader Kohu. Here you go, Aguilar. He carved up our secondary. Vic Fangio brought no pressure to Lamar Jackson. And then the Bills are ranked 7th in rushing offense with 130.5 yards per game on the ground. And the Dolphins, they're ranked 7th in rushing defense with 95 yards allowed. Vic Fangio. I'm not going to get into keys because with how big the magnitude of this game is, there's no need to talk about keys. We need to talk about what needs to get done. And yeah, I'll go into Ramsey and Diggs and Josh Allen and all that stuff. But before I do, I'm just going to tell you this, Dolphin fans. I'm just going to tell you the last couple meetings between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. The Bills own our ass. And as much as I hate to say this, because I hate the Buffalo Bills, they're one of my least favorite teams in all of sports. I probably put them behind number 2, behind the Atlanta Braves. This is since 2018. The Buffalo Bills are the Miami Dolphins' daddy. Listen to this. December 30th, 2018. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 42-17. October 20th, 2019. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 31-28. November 17th, 2019. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 30-27. September 20th, 2020. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 31-28. One of the worst Dolphins games I've ever watched in my life. January 3rd, 2021. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 56-26. September 19th, 2021. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 35-0. October 31st, 2021. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 26-11. You're going to be shocked about this one. September 25th, 2022. The Miami Dolphins, last year at Hard Rock Stadium, beat the Buffalo Bills 21-19. December 17th, 2022. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 32-29. January 15th, 2023, Wild Card Weekend. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 34-31. And this year, October 1st, 2023, the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 48-20. They are 12-1 in their last 13 games against the Miami Dolphins. That's a disgrace. You can't even call it a rivalry because we get our ass kicked every single time. Sean McDermott is 12-2 in his career coaching against the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa in his career is 1-5 against the Buffalo Bills. And you're confident going into Sunday? Really? You gotta think more, man. I understand you love your team, but you have to think. This team drives me insane sometimes. They drive me insane. Let's talk about Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is coming off one of his worst coached games this season against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I don't even know what the game plan was. That's how bad it was. 56 points. Our defense got exposed. Our secondary got exposed. Duke Riley got exposed as a backup linebacker. Duke Riley's a backup linebacker, folks. He's good on special teams, but he's a backup. And I hope Jerome Baker can come back on Sunday night. Will he play? My guess is they're going to hold him out. I don't think Waddle's going to play either, but we'll get to the offense in a little bit. Um, they've got to do better against Josh Allen. They have to pressure Josh Allen. Vic Fangio has to he has to bring the pressure because you cannot just send forward and let Josh Allen sit in the pocket and carve you up and wait for his receivers to get open. And here's the bad thing, too. Now that we don't have Bradley Chubb, we have no outside pass rushers. None. Andrew Van Ginkel is good. He's having a great season, as a matter of fact. But he's not Bradley Chubb. Emmanuel Ogbah had a great 2020 season and 2021 season with the Miami Dolphins. But this is not the same system he succeeded in. He was a success in the Brian Flores system. He's not a success the past 2 seasons for the Miami Dolphins. He's as good as gone when the season's over. Melvin Ingram, he's got a good career record against the Buffalo Bills. He played awesome in the September game last year, but Melvin Ingram's about 35 years old. He's no threat. So, this game, the only pressure, Zach Zealer and Christian Wilkins. And if they can't get pressure, then Josh Allen is going to carve this secondary up to shreds. And I hope that Jalen Ramsey is shadowing down Stephon Diggs. Because I cannot go through another game where Kader Kohou is getting his ass burned by Stephon Diggs. I can't go through that again. And then the bad part about it is, you put Ramsey on Stephon Diggs, which I'm fine with. But then you have to deal with Kincaid, James Cook from the backfield, Gabe Davis, Shakir. It's an extremely hard task for this Dolphins defense. An extremely hard task with how banged up they are. They're missing Xavier Howard, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, possibly Jerome Baker. We don't know. We don't know. I hope some of these guys that didn't play good last week step the fuck up this week. Christian Wilkins did not have a good game. Andrew Van Ginkel was very, very quiet against the Ravens. Javon Holland did not have a good game. He's playing on 2 bum knees. So he's probably not going to be the same. So we're going to need more from Deshaun Elliott. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Josh Allen, whenever he sees that aqua, he carves them up. And I don't know how Fangio's going to be able to stop it. I'm being dead honest. But games like this are why we paid Fangio to be the highest paid defensive coordinator. Will he show up? I don't know. Let's talk about the offense. The Buffalo Bills, they're ranked 10th in defense with 309.5 yards allowed per game. The Miami Dolphins, they're ranked first with 409.5 yards per game. Bills passing defense, they're ranked 8th with 218.5 yards allowed per game on the air. The Miami Dolphins are first with 282 passing yards per game through the air. The Bills' run defense is ranked 15th with 111 rushing yards allowed per game. The Dolphins' rushing offense is ranked 5th with 137.5 yards per game on the ground. I want to talk about something. You guys realized how the Miami Dolphins last week when they were playing the Ravens, they got some big explosive plays early. If it was a quick screen to Achane or a long run from Achane for 30 yards or 15 yards, other drives 10 yards, Achane rushing over 100 yards last week, Tua carving up the Ravens secondary in the first 2 drives, and then he digressed. You want to know why they digressed? Because they didn't commit to the run enough. Here's an example. 2-minute warning. You try to catch the Ravens off guard. You know what? There's a second left before the 2-minute warning, but let's run a play anyway. Tua throws it over the middle. And the Ravens have figured out the game. They figured out their game plan already. Oh, Roquan Smith is going to snatch a one-handed interception. Zach Sealer just got a fumble recovery. First play of the drive. Hey, let's try to catch him off guard. Pass right down the middle to Tyreek Hill. Throwing it to 5 defenders around Tyreek Hill. Trying to thread the needle. Up. Intercepted. Intercepted by Geno Stone. The Dolphins don't commit to the run enough. And they feel like they have to go pass heavy because of Tyreek and Waddle when he's in there. When in reality, you run the ball to set up opportunities for the passing game. And this is going to be the biggest game of Tua Tagovailoa's career. And the biggest game that Mike McDaniel has ever coached in his career as a head coach. Because he coached as an offensive coordinator in the Super Bowl for the 49ers. But for Mike McDaniel, this is an opportunity to shut me up. Mike, I want you to shut me up on Sunday night. I don't want to come on here and talk about how your play calling was trash and your game management was trash and all this shit that I've said about you this week. I don't want to have to come on here and do that. I don't. I want you to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins for the 2024 season. But what I've been seeing this season, you don't make me believe. I don't believe in Mike McDaniel. I'm sorry. I just don't. They need to have the best game plan that they can possibly have. And you know what they need to be? They need to be fucking physical on the offensive line. That's what this game is going to come down to, I think. It's going to come down to the trenches. And if Buffalo can get pressure onto Tua like they did in the last game, then it'll be over by halftime. It'll be over by halftime. And this offense is so banged up. It is so banged up right now. Robert Hunt is coming off a hamstring injury. The last time he came back from a hamstring injury, he re-aggravated it that same game. And now he's going up against Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver on a bad hamstring. I don't like that. Yeah, we need Rob Hunt for games like this. But I don't like that matchup. I don't like that matchup against Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones. Tyreek's not 100%. You see the videos of this week, which, by the way, thoughts and prayers to Tyreek Hill and his family. I'm very happy that his family is safe from the fires in his house. But he's been on a walking boot all week. That man is not 100%. He's not. Jalen Waddle is not 100%. Raheem Mostert is not 100%. These guys are banged up. How much do they want it? Is what it's come down to. And I don't think they want it. I don't think this team wants it. But they got to run the ball, and they got to be physical on offense. And if you don't do any of those things, and you drop Tua Tagovailoa back 40 times, we're going to get crushed. We're going to get crushed on Sunday night. Like I expect, by the way. Like I expect. So, hey man. It's the last game of the regular season. How do you want to go out? Do you want your fan base to be pissed off, not have confidence, and be negative going into the playoffs like me? If they lose, I'm going to keep the same energy that I have been all week. Or do you want to go in on a high? You want to go in as the 2 seed, no matter who you play in the first round. Because I'll tell you what, if they win this game and they play the Bills again next weekend, that's scary. That's scary. But at least I would have a little bit more confidence. And it's a playoff game, so I'd be more excited. But again, I give you a 15% chance. I give you a 15% chance to win this game. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Because the only time you proved me wrong this year was the Cowboys game. So, we'll see what happens. So, and I will either come on here Sunday night after the game, and I'm going to sit here and either be like, I told you so, or I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be like, I'm an idiot, I'm an asshole, this team is going in a fucking AFC championship game. So, we'll see what happens. But I'm getting out of here. That's your preview for the Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins with the AFC East division on the line. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will be back Sunday night to talk about this game. And by the time I'm back on the channel, we will know who the AFC's champions are. It's likely going to be the Buffalo Bills, so don't be disappointed. We'll know who the AFC's champions are. We will know who the Miami Dolphins are playing round 1 of the playoffs. We will know what time the Miami Dolphins are playing next week. All that stuff, we're going to talk about it on Sunday night after the game. Be sure to subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on this game. If you're a Dolphins fan or a Bills fan, leave your comments down below. It's hard to have confidence going into this game. After last week, after what this coach has shown me this year, it's hard to have confidence going into this game. It really is. But bring me your positivity. Maybe it will light me up. Hit the like button. Follow me on Twitter, Colin_Joseph. I will see you Sunday night. Have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy and fins up. Peace. I'm out.